Happy Saturday. How are you guys? Got a cat here. Welcome to our first coffee chat. Let's see here. I'm hoping that you can all hear me. I'm hoping that you can all hear me. See if I can. Let's see. There we go. A little crooked, but you can hear me? Okay, good. Good. All right. Let's see. There we go. All right. Let's see here. I want to set this up on my laptop so I can see our chat as we go. All right. So it's been a busy week for me. What have you guys been up to this week? Who has coffee? I have coffee. Hi, Stacy. How are you? Welcome. Coffee. You already drank it. I have been running around this morning, so I'm a little late with mine. So we've been still trying to organize your scrap room. Yeah, if you could only see. You're only seeing like a very small window of my room, and I've been working on multiple things, and one thing gets thrown to the side. You should see my floor. Yeah, so I was I finished up our project sheets. Hey, Bob. Can you get my glasses that are on the counter in the kitchen? I see these, this ring light being reflected in my glasses. It makes me look crazy. Wonder if yeah. That's what my phone is attached to, so I guess I could try to turn it off and see. But then the lighting isn't very good, so yeah. I don't know. Actually, it's not too bad. Aside from, I'm wondering if these have like an anti-reflective. These are blue light. Let's change glasses and see if they actually match my shirt. Believe it or not, let's see what happens. Nope, same thing. I look crazy. Okay, we're not doing this light because I can't stand to see myself. Okay, this is better. Other glasses are better. There we go. You're in the, it's scrapbook weekend for your friends. Oh, I'm so envious. Yeah, I am, my scrapbook room is right in the front of our house. So I have windows here and windows here. And so whoever walks by and sees all of my lights can watch me doing live streams or filming videos or whatever. So it's a little crazy. But yeah, so I've been working on project sheets for our June kits, which are done for the most part. I'm just finishing converting the second one into a digital format. So we'll have that shared for everybody to refer to or use if they want. And you'll be able to print those. So that'll be really nice. Oh, I'm sorry, August. I've completely lost, thanks. I've completely lost track of my months and days. Yeah, so it's August. So the August project sheets are what I've been working on. I miss having scrapbook weekends and going to crop so much. I used to go all of the time when I lived in Portland and I first started scrapbooking, and then when we moved here to Washington, I opened a store and I hosted crops and classes, and we did some getaway retreats, which were really fun. We did a couple of them up in Snoqualmie Pass, up in the mountains, at this little like ski lodge motel or hotel thing. No amazing bells or whistles, but it was a lot of fun. And then we did a couple at a different hotel here in the Seattle area. So I miss doing those. And I miss being able to get together with people on a regular basis. So I'm looking forward to doing some of those things in our new Craft and Connect community. So it's been really fun to get to know so many people in our new community. So if you haven't, I know that Stacy and Sharon both have been spending lots of time there, and we have lots of other crafty friends that are there as well. Some that are Hip Kit Club members, some that are previous subscribers, some that are fans, some that are just avid crafters and scrapbookers. You're scrapbooking while we talk. I cannot carry on a conversation very well when I'm scrapbooking. Yeah, and if you haven't shared our Craft and Connect community with your friends, invite your friends and tell them about it. And I think that the more the merrier, and everybody that's joined, I think, has really been pleasantly surprised and excited about what we have going on there. So I'm super excited about it, and I like being able to share projects and see your projects and see your ideas and all that kind of stuff, and be able to, chat with everybody, and then we're able to share our projects as well. You live in Spokane, so you're about 5 hours from me. I'm in Snoqualmie, right in the foothills. So you're about 5 hours from me, I think. We love it out here. It's nice, it's quiet. We've lived out here for, gosh, 20 years, I think. And our kids were raised out here. It's a great place to raise kids. There's so much for them to do. We have parks, and in fact, they just opened this super cool like water park that has all kinds of water features, you know, sprinklers and I don't know, waterfall things. And my kids would have loved that when they were young. But yeah, you just moved there. Is that? We are west of Spokane. So if you get on I-90 and you just head west on I-90, you'll pass Snoqualmie, and then Seattle's about 20 minutes from us, I guess. Or downtown Seattle is about 20 minutes from us. Maybe actually a little further than that, but we love it. We love it out here. So where are you guys? Sharon's from Spokane. You're originally from Phoenix. Okay, so we actually lived in Phoenix for 9 years. My husband graduated from ASU, so we're huge ASU Sun Devils fans, and we watch football every Saturday evening and cheer them on. So yeah, so we lived in West Chandler for like Gilbert, and then we bought a house in West Chandler, and then we moved from there. Hi, Sylvia. Oh, poor baby. Sylvia, she started school, right? Just recently. You got your doctorate at ASU and you lived in Ahwatukee. Okay, so I worked in Ahwatukee when we lived in Phoenix before we had kids. That's so funny. It's such a small world. And then we've been back, we still have friends that live in like Paradise Valley and Scottsdale, and then out in Queen Creek, we have some other friends. And then I can't remember. Anyway, we've got people that we know all over the place. And Bob's parents lived in Surprise before they passed away. So it's fun to go out there, especially when we're in the dreary, rainy season. Sylvia, she probably caught her cold from being at school. I swear, when when we moved from Portland or from Seattle or from Phoenix to Portland, we had never been so sick in our entire lives. Our kids were constantly sick. We caught every single cold virus under the sun. Under the sun? Yeah. So, yeah, the difference in climate and going from a very dry climate to a very humid, wet, rainy climate, the viruses were totally different. And then probably because Megan started preschool, so that probably didn't help either. But that's rough. Oh, you taught in Surprise. Oh, that's so funny. My in-laws lived in American Traditions, I think, was the community that they had their house. Yeah. And Sylvia, it's probably not going to be the last time either. It's funny because I work from home, and don't go out much. I'm kind of a little bit of an introvert, believe it or not. And so I think since I started working from home and then with COVID, you just kind of get used to being at home all the time. And so I haven't had a cold I think I've had COVID a couple of times. I think I've had COVID twice. But beyond that, I really haven't been sick. And COVID for me, like Bob and I both got COVID and we got it very different. Our symptoms were totally different. I lost my sense of taste and smell the first time around, and it was gone for like 3 months. And I don't think it's ever completely come back. So like, I like very, very spicy food, and probably make it more spicy than I need to so that I can taste it. But yeah. So hang on one second and I'll show you one of the layouts that I did this week. And then this one. So I generally start them on paper, and then I finish them digitally. So this is the second one. I think it turned out really pretty. Yeah, I assume if you're a teacher, you definitely build up your immunities. My sister teaches high school. Your grandkids are always sick. Yeah. Oh, Marge, I'm so glad. I know you've been waiting for those. I've seen your messages on our Facebook group, and I've been trying to get to them and get them completed as quickly as possible. And then this is the other one, which is not done, or this part is not done, but this is the layout. And then when you see the one, the printable one, it's got all kinds of embellishments all over the place. So, but for those of you, it's hard to see on the digital. I got the center of this paper, and then I put foam adhesive between the white cardstock and the pool paper. And so I created a little frame, and I messed with a bunch of, I had like so many different ideas for this paper, but I settled on this one. So yeah, so you'll have 3 pages. We'll have them uploaded later on this afternoon. I'm gonna finish them up this morning, so it definitely takes me, I'm not a fast scrapbooker, as you can probably tell from the live streams that I do. I'm very, I don't know whether the word's, maybe I'm fussy, and it probably indecisive as well. And so I put things, move them around, take them off, put them down, all that kind of stuff. So, so what have you guys, for those of you that have been in our Craft and Connect community, what types of things are you enjoying most? Yeah, the wait will be well worth it. And I think that the thing that makes them really hard is I don't want to give you guys the same layout designs month after month. So I try to do something different, and that is kind of I get stuck sometimes. So I'm an overthinker, believe it or not. So it takes me forever to do anything and to make choices about things, and like, and then I'm a little ADD, so I'm curious. You're slow as molasses. Yeah, me too. Totally, totally slow. I created a snail's pace. The nice thing for me, and I mainly work with our kids. And so, hey, Shell. Aw, I'm glad that you like them. Yeah, so I'll have everything ready to be printed for you this afternoon. And then September is also going to be a printable, but October will be back on track. Um, so I've got a lot of work ahead of me, I think. And I've got some cut files for you too that haven't been finalized. So yeah, there's a long list. Did you guys know that in our Craft and Connect community, if you click on, I think, hang on, let me find it, because if you click on the map, there's like a little map tab. It will tell you where everybody's from, and I believe you can zoom in and you can see if there are people in your area, in your city. It doesn't go into, like, it's not GPS at all, but it gives kind of a general area. So you might be able to find some scrappy friends that live nearby. Marge, that just makes me so happy. Sometimes when I do those lives, I hang on. Sometimes when I do my lives, I feel like I'm a hot mess, and I'm just like, indecisive, and like not really showing people as well as I could, in terms of the process. But I think it's really nice to hear that you're feeling like you're getting something out of those, because I think the project sheets in themselves, I think, make it really, really easy to follow. I think that breaking it down into those 3 steps allows you to really follow and see how to construct the page, because sometimes looking at a finished page, you're like, okay, there's a lot of stuff there. What do I need? Where do I start? I'm going to cut into this paper. I'm going to do it wrong. So being able to, I'm hiding my nerves. Oh my gosh. These I'm still getting used to, but it's getting easier. And it's a lot, this is nice, because me being able to, chat with you guys as we go, it's just, it makes it really fun for me, because I love going into our community too. And there is, oh yeah, let me tell you really quick. So one of the new exciting things that's happening in our school community, on the school platform where our Craft and Connect community is, there's a new live stream feature, and it works kind of like Zoom. So we can all chat back and forth, and it's really, really easy. You don't have to install any software. You just go to our school community, and it will show that there's a live call, and you just click on it, and you can either choose to have your camera on or off. I think you don't have to have your camera on if you don't want to, but you can, and that's kind of fun because you can put like a face to a name, or a name to a face, or yeah, two-way. So like you can chat with me, I can chat with you, you can chat with, other people in our group. So it's like a real virtual get together. I know that it's kind of like Zoom, but you don't have to log in anywhere or do anything other than be in our Craft and Connect community. So it'll pop up, and you'll get a notification that we've gone live. And so, like, for instance, if we're doing something that is like an impromptu live stream that hasn't been scheduled, then it'll show up. And if for some reason we decide to just pop on for something impromptu, or I have an idea and I'm working on something, it'll show up, and all you have to do is just click join, and it'll join you into our into that live stream. So, and there's no limit on how many people can join in. The boxes just get a little smaller, but it's fun to be able to have that capability. So I'm really excited about that. And they're going to have some new features that will be really helpful as well in the coming weeks. They've made a lot of improvements and had a lot of additional things that they've got in the pipeline. And so that's one of the reasons that we chose this particular platform for our community. So we're looking at doing some live stream virtual events, some live stream like class events where we have multiple instructors, and so it'd be like an all-day kind of a thing. So we'll be kind of working through the details on those. Those will probably be likely towards the end of the year, or in January, because it takes a lot of time to get those kinds of things planned. Yeah, so. Oh, Suzanne, I'm so glad that you're enjoying the live streams. And it's so, I completely agree. I think it's awesome to be able to chat and connect with other people and not feel like everything has to be perfect, because it simply doesn't. Creativity and being and creating is a process, and everybody has their own style and the way that they like to do things. And it's just all about like showing like new things. I remember, when like Missy Whidden was on our design team very, very early on, when we started our YouTube channel. And she was with me for about, I think 6 or 7 years, I think. And so she was the queen of mixed media. And she was like, for me, one of the very first people that got it right, like made it doable, and she was passionate about it. And You know, uh, she used it on every project. And so every time you tuned into her videos, you know, catch something new, or, you know, see her process, because not everything is perfect. And oftentimes, like with mixed media, for instance, you know, you work on it, and uh, she was amazing. And, you know, I think that, you know, she was she was on a lot of teams. Missy Whidden, yeah. I would love to have her come back and do like a little guest spot for us, but currently she's not really scrapbooking much anymore. She's focused on her family and her daughters, and just, you know, kind of living her life. She and I chat regularly, and we share book recommendations. She's like me and enjoys kind of some dark books. Um, but I like a little bit of everything. The only thing I don't really read are like sci-fi or fantasy, but that's mainly just because I've never gotten into that really. So, but yeah, I'm glad that that everybody's enjoying being able to meet others. You know, it's nice to be able to have a place where you can come in and you can ask a question and it actually gets answered, or you have an idea and it's like well received, and people react and comment and interact with you about your idea or your tip or your trick or whatever. And yeah, so, you know, Sarah Miller House, yeah, she does amazing mixed media also. Her stuff, she does um, such amazing colorful pages. Like, she can add so much color to her pages and they don't look like hot messes. I tend to be a little bit more conservative with mine, but only because I think if I did what she did, I don't think I could do what she does as successfully as she does. But it's nice to see, you know, everybody has like a different style. And, you know, over time you kind of find that through experimenting with things. You figure out things that you like and things that you don't. So, and the other thing that's really nice about our community is that you can share whatever you want. You don't have to just use Hip Kit Club stuff. You can share products from any manufacturer that you like. So it doesn't matter. You can ask questions about other manufacturers. You can show products and projects that you are enjoying working with, or that you're inspired by, or that you have questions about. So we're not just um, a Hip Kit Club site or community. Um, we welcome absolutely everything. So, and any kind of craft, because there's always like that common ground. For instance, we had, you know, as people were coming in and introducing one another, and people were talking about some of their interests, and we have so many avid readers in our group. And so being able to we started a book recommendation thread, and there are so many amazing books that are listed that people have added, which is great because I'm an audiobook girl and I go through them so quickly because I listen to them while I work. It kind of calms that overthinking for me, I think. Um, but yeah, so that's been really fun. And, you know, there are people that are that sew and quilt and all those kinds of things. And I love that. And, I encourage you to even share different types of projects that you're working on. It doesn't have to just be paper crafts. If you embroider or cross stitch or draw or paint or crochet or knit or quilt or sew, art journal, that's one of the things that I'd like to get more involved in. And I talked a lot about starting a like mixed media series. And so um, I thought that doing a mixed media series and like doing it in an art journal form would be really cool. And I think that it's like the perfect way to do it because it's like a lot of like experimenting that happens with, mixed media. And so, we can try a lot of different techniques. We can try a lot of different ways to layer and things like that. And if we all like did it in an art journal, that would be kind of cool too. So, just something that we can kind of, try. And I think art journaling is a great like learning tool. So I think that yeah, I think that I'm really excited about. And from a lot of the comments that I've seen, there's a lot of people that are interested in that. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and we'll get something set up for that probably in the near future. That's something that's easy for me to do. Yeah. No, not another kit coming up, although who knows what will happen in the future. But I've seen a lot of crafting kits. One of the things that I'm like that I really want to do this year, and I say this every year, but I have like a very I have an idea of an advent calendar that I want to do this year. Um, so I'm making an advent calendar this year. But I've seen a lot of different crafting types of kits, from embroidery uh, to crocheting and knitting, and like I've seen some crocheting kits that, like, I think you crochet like little stuffed animals or little plush animals that are really cute. And so you get everything in your box. So, and I love, I think one of the nice things about kits is that you don't have to like search for anything. Everything is like right there in front of you, and you can easily take the leftovers and combine them with another kit. So, art journaling. Well, Marge, I think that our color kits lend themselves really well to art journaling. And one of the things that we've done over here and there is that we have done some like mixed media type stamps. So we'll probably be maybe building on that a little bit, where, with the our color kit will be something that we'll feature as we work in our art journals. So, but if you have like similar products on hand, you can easily use those in lieu of the exact products that we use. But yeah, so what I'll probably do is I'll probably focus on the things that are in our color kit and, stamps and dies and that kind of thing. So, stencils. So I've seen a lot of cool things. And, one of the other things that I've been watching on YouTube are, gel printing, um, process videos. And I have like all the things to do that, but I think it's in the package and I don't know that I've used it yet. But I've seen a lot of really cool like printing techniques. But I don't know exactly how they're done or how they're used. But from what I've seen is people will take like a high contrast. Have you tried it, Shell? I want to pull mine out and give it a try. I saw this one image where somebody took like a high contrast, um, like a photograph, but it was like printed black and white. And my guess is that it was printed with toner rather than like inkjet. Maybe it was a laser printed um, image. Yeah. Well, I think it's easy to do. It's kind of like mixed media. I think it's one of those things where um, less is more initially, or you have to like, I think the key with mixed media is that you have to be patient. Like, I think that you have to like add a little bit and then add a little bit more rather than like having too many things or too many colors going on at the same time. And if you have uh, otherwise, like if you have too many colors and they blend together, oftentimes you kind of get kind of things get a little muddy and like muted, and it's just the colors don't stay true. I mean, some things blend really well together. So like if you've got a yellow and a green, you can let those blend and they'll blend really nicely. But if you add like a layer of yellow and you let that dry and then you add a layer of green, then you get these really pretty layering effects and that color kind of building up, and it doesn't mix. So you get some really cool effects that way. So um, there's a lot of different ideas in terms of mixed media, uh, where mixed media is concerned. So there's a lot of different ways that it can be used with all kinds of different products, and you get a different result depending on the products that you use. So yeah, so I think we should do it. I think we should do it. I think that if we do it in an art journal, then you can kind of see the process over time and you can leave like little notes, or you can add like a sticky note, um, or a note on the back page of your art journal with the products that you used. Um, and then, you can kind of refer back to things that you liked and things that you didn't like, or, what went right, what went wrong, that kind of thing. So I think over time you'll, develop some kind of go-to techniques or products that you like using. So I think that this will be really a fun thing to try. So, and we could probably do it like on a Saturday morning, because with that kind of stuff, it doesn't require a whole lot of planning on my end. I just will grab some stuff and we'll flip my camera and we'll be good to go. I'll just maybe when we'll throw, I'll put something on the calendar, and then for each week I'll list the kinds of products that I'm using. So like for instance, if I'm using Lindy's magical powders, you could use shimmers paints or watercolors or mists or inks or whatever you have to create that same or like a similar effect. Lindy's are kind of cool because you get a different look depending on if you mix them with water on your like palette or your glass mat or whatever. And then you add them to your paper, or if you add some water and then sprinkle them over the water, because the powders, they've got a lot of different colors in that single powder. And so if you sprinkle them, you'll see all of the colors. Oh, enjoy your hair appointment. That's always so nice. Getting your hair washed by somebody other than yourself. I'm sure that you'll come out or walk out the door looking beautiful. So have a great Saturday. Maybe you can go shopping or something afterwards. So anyway, I will definitely put something on the calendar. The other thing too is, if you guys are interested in learning about something specific, or even having like tutorials on specific types of crafts or that kind of thing, we can, do some research. And like if somebody's interested in embroidery and, we want somebody to come in and like do a tutorial or whatever, we can look and see if we can find somebody who'd be interested in doing that. Or we can combine a bunch of different like YouTube, like quick tutorials for different stitches and that kind of thing. So, because, there's a lot of different, I had no idea how many embroidery stitches there were. But like I started watching them when people were like stitching like fancy seams on like jeans or like pillowcases. And I had no idea how many stitches there were. I'm like, okay, there's back stitch, there's blanket stitch, cross stitch, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of different stitches and techniques. So, and I'm mainly somebody that will use them on paper, but oh yeah, I can easily do that. In fact, yeah, I can. Here, hang on one second. Let me grab a pencil. Somewhere is a pencil around here. Okay, I'm just gonna type myself a note here. Okay, I will do that. I'll do a screen share like I did with our tutorial videos in our get started thread in our Craft and Connect community, so I can do a screen share showing you how to do it both with Cricut and with Silhouette. So, because I have both machines, and it's funny because I like Cricut better for. Hi, Chanel. I know you had something this morning with your son, so hopefully Mom's Day went well and that the boys... Was it Parents' Day or just Mom's Day? Probably Parents' Day this time of year. What was I saying? Oh, back to Cricut and Silhouette. So I like the Cricut better for cutting. I think it does a better, smoother cut and can handle more refined and detailed shapes better than the Silhouette. I feel like the Silhouette software is much better than the Cricut software. So it's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So it's just, but if you're just taking a cut file that's already done and you're uploading it into the Cricut software and cutting it, I think that they both pretty much work the same. I think it's when you're welding and changing shapes or changing sizes, I think that's where I think that the software changes a little bit. Parents' Day. Is your son, is he a freshman? Is this his first year? My youngest daughter was in a sorority, and it was, I remember going to, I don't think, maybe Parents' Day was the day after, I think it was the day after the Pledge Day. He's a sophomore. Okay. Yeah, the boys are, the fraternities are another animal than sororities are. The girls get pampered pretty much. And the boys, not so much, although they do have cooks that make their food and stuff like that. The girls' houses, no parties or anything like that, so their houses are nice and clean. And although, so my daughter, her first semester in school, all the freshmen slept in these, like, I don't even know what to call them. Oh, yeah, it is. It's so, when they go off to college, it's really fun to see them kind of become themselves outside of us, right? It's kind of bittersweet. My daughter, so my oldest daughter is 32. Madeline is 29 and Mackenzie is 27. So they're grown. Yeah, like a week ago, well, a little over a week ago, I just celebrated my 59th birthday. So yeah, how crazy is that? You know, what's really funny is in my head, I still like view myself as like all girls. Yep. All girls. A lot of emotions. Poor Bob. We do have 3 boy cats though. So you know, he doesn't have to feel completely outnumbered. And to be honest, I think boy cats are nicer or sweeter. Our new kitty, he's like absolutely fearless, and I think he's already used like 5 of his 9 lives, and he's only 6 months old. So totally, right? Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because none of them are the same. Like each one of them have their own personalities and, you know, need you to be a different kind of parent, you know, at a different point in time. So you're constantly like putting on a different hat or, you know, multiple personality to try and relate to each one of them and parent them the way that they need to be parented. So, yeah, it's so funny. Our youngest daughter, she was all about everything being fair. So, like at Christmas, she would do this mental math, trying to make sure that she was getting the same value in her Christmas presents that her sisters were. And if she didn't, we would hear about it. So I'm like, we're raising a monster. Yours are 30, 29. Ah. Oh. Yeah, yours are right around the same age as mine. And they're all of our girls are like doing their own thing, and and 2 of them live in Seattle. We have no grandkids yet. Nobody's 31, 25, and 19. Okay, so your kids are about my kids' age, and you have all boys. Are any of your kids married, Chanel? Our youngest is in has a boyfriend, and they've been dating for just over a year. Oh, you have some that are married. Do you have grandkids? Yeah, we have no one's married. The youngest has a boyfriend that she's been dating for just over a year, and you have 4 granddaughters. Oh. See, we have no grandkids. I'm like, I asked Mackenzie because, you know, she's the only one that's really has a significant other, and I'm like, so, you know, is there talk of future plans or whatever? And she's like, mind your own business. If there's something to tell, I'll tell you. Stop prodding. So I have to mind my own business. I get told I ask a lot of questions. So, and when she introduced us, or me, to her boyfriend, she told me to be on my best behavior, because I usually like to roast them, you know, the girls, and tell all kinds of stories about them from when they were little. And as much as I enjoy those stories, they don't enjoy them quite as much as I do, nor do they think that they're as funny as I do. So, yeah, I'm usually redirected at times. In fact, um, Madeline had a boyfriend, and when she was in high school, and yeah, they can. They can. Madeline had a boyfriend when she was in high school, and he's like, "Oh, Maddie, do you have any pictures from when you were little?" And I'm like, "Oh, pictures? Does she? Why, yes, she does." So I ran down into the basement, and at the time we had like this 140-pound lab, and he was always in the way. So I run downstairs and I grab this stack of scrapbooks, and they're like taller than I am. So I'm carrying them upstairs, and they're heavy. And because I know where I'm going, I'm like, okay, I don't need to see or whatever. So I'm carrying them upstairs, and I come to the top of the basement stairs, and I round the corner, and my toes like dig into the side of the dog, and I go flying forward. The scrapbooks go everywhere, and I topple over and land flat on my back in order to not crush the dog. And the boyfriend is mortified. He doesn't know what to do. Madeline's laughing her head off, and I'm laying on the floor trying to figure out if I have any horrible injuries. So anyway, yeah. So there's that. There were no photos, believe it or not. In fact, given the fact that my kids always have their phones in their hand, I can't believe that nobody caught a photo of that. But to be honest, I fall a lot. And that was not like the first time, so maybe it wasn't really all that special. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the dog used to like lay on the floor, and he was so big. And so I remember one time I was walking upstairs, and I turned all the lights off, and um, the rest of the family was in the family room, and I was taking my, yeah, better no pics, you're right. I was carrying my laptop upstairs, and I had the screen up, and I'm walking across the room, and it's really dark. And again, dog's laying there, and my toes jam into his side, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I go flying over the top of him, but I'm trying not only not to crush him, but to protect my laptop as I'm like going down. And so all my family hears is this like huge crash, and I'm on the floor again. And yeah, so I think maybe it's not that special for them anymore. You fall also? Yeah, yeah. Well, it's funny because I used to laugh about it, and I'd call my mom and I'd be like, oh my gosh, you know, I'd go skiing and I'd have these terrible crashes, um, and I'd, come home, and sometimes I'd have a few injuries here and there, um, and I'd come home and I'd, tell my mom what I'd done, and she's like, "You're not like 18. Your body can't take falls like that." And after I tore my meniscus in my knee and I had to have knee surgery, I'm a lot more cautious than I used to be when I ski and do activities. I'm a little bit more aware. No broken bones. Bye, Sharon. No broken bones, just a torn meniscus, mostly like sprains and things like that. In fact, when I had my scrapbook store, I was standing on a chair trying to move something off of a high shelf. And they were these Windsor back chairs, and they were not the sturdiest things in the world. But so I stood on it, and the legs broke. And the legs broke off, and I came down off of the chair, and I sprained my ankle pretty badly. And so I thought I broke it at first, but it was just a sprain. And yeah, but that particular day, the day before that, my daughter was in the bathroom at our store, and the bracket with that held the sink onto the wall came loose. And so she's calling me from the bathroom, and the door is locked, and she's like, "Mom, Mom, Mom." So I go running over to the door, and I'm like, "Open the door." She's like, "I can't. The sink fell off the wall." And she's like, "I'm holding onto the sink, and if I let go, it's going to fall on the floor and break." And so she's just sitting there. I'm like, "Let the sink go." So the sink broke and fell off the wall. And then the next day I broke the chair. And so I just took the broken chair and put it in the bathroom. And so the poor girl that worked for me on Sunday came in, and she goes to get the broom in the bathroom, and the chair is broken to smithereens, and the sink is off the wall and cracked on the floor. So she had some questions as to what happened the previous day. So yeah, I'm a little accident prone, I guess. So, well, you guys, I have totally enjoyed this chat. So next time, what we'll do is we'll do this we'll stream this through our Craft and Connect community. And we'll use the new streaming feature there so everybody can chat. It's like I said earlier, it's like a Zoom call where you can all have your cameras on or off, and we can chat rather than type. So I think that that'll be really fun. And it's really easy to use too. So there's no learning curve. Oh yeah. So if you haven't downloaded the school app on your phone, you can do that through the App Store on your phone, and you can download the app and sign in, and so you can check that out as well. And then you can visit, when you're on the go, like if you're on a road trip and you're sitting there with nothing to do, you can browse through and and visit. But so like if we're doing our live stream through school, you can do it using your phone. So it supports the app supports all of the features that the website also offers. So be sure to download that onto your phones. And then I will, I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to add to our calendar. So be sure to check that out. And then if you guys, like I said, if you guys have interests in learning more about something or experimenting with something, or, it could be something as easy as color, or, like composition or stamping, or like I said, we'll do the mixed media thing in an art journal form. That'll be a lot of fun. And I'll get that added to our calendar very, very soon. So we can probably start doing those like in maybe early October. So that'd be a lot of fun. And then, yeah, so be sure and leave your comments below with any suggestions. And then I will see you all again, maybe next Saturday, because this time seems to work well for people, I think. If it doesn't, if it's a little early or late or whatever, you can, leave that in the comments below as well. And I can, kind of look and see what will work best for everybody. But all right, you guys, have a good weekend, and hopefully try to find something, some time to do something crafty this weekend. It's good for the creative soul. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.